Do you ever felt or felt that word has something uh, magical? That things could be meant to be, or even connected? Some synchronicities or coincidences? Well, this is a mystery of the existence in our world since when we were born. One day I was talking to my aunt, and she said to me what she understands by the word mystery. She said, mystery is something that reveals itself slowly, gradually, and without ever revealing itself completely. For me, life has a great void. I'm not thinking or saying about a bad thing, nor a good thing, but a potential thing. It's like a glass of wine. You can like it or not, but try one day before swallowing the wine, lingering it in your mouth. It should taste better. Since I was a child, everything has had, sorry, much sense for me. The sensations, perceptions, feelings. I was very active, was very hard to sleep. During the nights, I walked through the corridors of my house and saw the darkness in the kitchen and thought, well, is there something in the dark that doesn't exist in the light? Another mystery. Well, for me as a child, the world was a challenge too. The children in school didn't like me. I was a bit weirdo with my big eyes, my little bear backpack, and my infinite questions about where we came, where we go, what is the universe, is there other universe, how many universes exist? Everything without answer. Even my dad and my mom didn't know exactly what I was thinking about. This was just the start of my journey. A very difficult but meaningful journey. I'm sorry for the quality of the video, for my bad English, my accent, but be patient, please. I will improve it by the time. This is some kind of low stimulating video. I just want your presence here. Nothing more. A simple thing. I hope you enjoy. 5 years later, things got harder. My mom got sick by cancer, and the treatment began. Everything was very well. Everything was evolving nicely, but in October, my mother started to get a little bit of strength. She was not speaking right. Sometimes misspelling the words, struggling to speak, sometime later to walk, to think. And in the 20th of November, my mom passed away. As a child, it was very hard for me to understand the meaning of death. I thought that my mom could back, but 1 month, 2 months, 3, 6 months later, a year later, I was convinced by life she would never come back. So I was starting to be alone, more alone than I was. Not had too many friends in school. The only one who played with me was my mother. My dad, already 77 years old, was unable to see my struggles, my difficulties, my my pains. He was battling with his own emotions, his own complexes, and I starting slowly process of dementia. Some years later, by 2022, my father lost that battle. Now I could say that I was completely alone. The unique thing I thought that could be some kind of way out of this was search for wisdom. Why not search for wisdom? I need advice on how I should act, how I should be a man, how I should be a better person. So I try to grasp every philosophy book, Plato, Aristotle, Thales, Parmenides, Empedocles, Seneca, Epictetus, Nietzsche, Dostoevsky, a lot of. But in the end, I always seen a thing. I was not able to apply all this knowledge in the world. I was unable to act like a virtuous, like Aristotle said. I was unable to to act like my destiny is always what I love. Like Nietzsche said, I was unable to follow a cake recipe recommendation. I start to note that life was not about this. But in my mind, this took a very deep and complicated way. I started to be very logical, very very complicated to handle. I built a Babel tower that the first wind or wave would bring it down until something happened. But some years before my dad died, we had a cockatiel. We named him Lorenzo. Lorenzo was very smart and very friendly. He likes to imitate my dad, uh, cawl at my dad, using his beak against the cage, but very, very active. My dad loved him. They were best friends. And when my dad passed away, I was too busy studying. didn't have too many time for Lorenzo, and I decided to get him a bigger cage and a companion. But something strange happened. I had a nightmare with Lorenzo being dead in his cage, covered in blood, with three dogs studying outside his cage. But the dogs didn't harm Lorenzo. Were they just stood out there. Lorenzo gets scared and tried to fly in his cage. At this point, I wake up and I ran to his place, his room, and he was really covered in blood, really hurted. I went to the vet with him. Everything was under control, but by the evening, Lorenzo started to clean his wings. This was the worst thing he could do because he started to bleed again. I did everything I could, but unhappily, my friend was dead. This was the last job for me in life. I was tired of studying, tired of trying to seek the solution of everything in studies. I was sick of seeing everyone die and me staying in this world of which is the sense of this shit. What I can grasp of this fucking existence. Sorry for the word. But one day I walked through a pet shop and find two budgies in this pet shop. One yellow and a blue budgie. The yellow one had the feet injured. I was heartbroken with this situation. Their cage was so dirty and smelled so bad. They fought for the food, and the yellow one always lost. I decided to went home with them. It was the best decision of my life. I went to the vet with they, and the vet said, "Oh, you need to make purchase wrap it in cork for the yellow one. He had a disease that injured his feet. That's no way back." So I did this. I went to my dad's workshop. This place is very nostalgical for me. The rust nails, the red OLED, the hand sound, everything was so unorganized and strange, but very familiar. The marks of my dad. So I started to work. The first brush was very bad. It broke it in half. The second was better. The third was good. The fourth was perfect. I was impressed because for the first time in my life, I was not overthinking. My hands were free. I got so many ideas from nowhere, and my work started to be very easier and more efficient. I was impressed in my so new abilities. It got me so much hyped that I decided to organize my dad's workshop. And in the half of the organization, I remember for my great grandfather. My dad said that my great grandfather, Francesco, was a very smart man, a carpenter, very skilled. And I started to fog, is this in my blood? Or something like this? But I I must be increasing the things a little bit. I'm just being I'm just being crazy. But another thing happened. I found a little box of nails and decided to open this exactly box. There were no nails inside, but a lot of gems, rubs, onyx, and amethysts. A lot of, I don't know the name exactly, and a perfect tooth of lion inside. So sharp. I was impressed. I never see such a thing in my life. I remember my dad was a goldsmith when younger. This was some of his treasures. I was able to find the connection between the present, my future, my new future, and the past of my family. An history of fight and love. By this day, I saw that there is something deeper in this world, something more, I can explain, more happy, magical. My childhood was back into me. Like the video of the gameplay going while I'm talking to you. For me, the synchronicities of this world are all around us. We are just able to see if our minds are free. Free from the chaos that word dragging into us. We are capable of feeling this light again. And I decided to make this channel to show what I saw, what I felt, what I thought, what I experienced through life. There is more to say, but I think that this is not the right occasion. I want to be simple in these videos, like this one, but with a better English. And help people that sees what I see. I hope you enjoyed the video. One more time, sorry from the wrong conjugations of the verbs, wrong verbal tense, but I'm learning, and I think you can understand. All the things who lies above us are like the things that lies below us. You should have heard this one day. Bye.